There's more to move you right now at Team Mazda. Get 1.9% for 60 months on a new Mazda CX-50, Mazda CX-70, or Mazda CX-90. And make no payments for 90 days. The selection and savings are here for you at Team Mazda on Airline.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 9 News Now. I'm Tisha Powell. We are learning some new details about a school shooting that left 2 children dead and more than a dozen people injured. The shooter was identified as 23-year-old Robin, formerly Robert Westman. Law enforcement officials say that Westman's mother was an employee at the school where the shooting took place. Officials say it happened as students and staff were attending Mass to mark the first week of school. According to authorities, Westman had a shotgun, rifle, and a pistol on hand. The situation is still developing. We will update you as soon as we learn more. Now to a 9 News update. The Orleans Parish Coroner's Office has revealed the cause of death for a nonverbal 12-year-old boy found dead in a lagoon. According to the coroner, Dwight McKenna, Brian Vasquez, cause of death was ruled blunt force trauma from alligators and drowning. Vasquez went missing August 14th after police say he left through the window of his bedroom at 5 in the morning. A nearly 2-week search ended after volunteers found his body in a lagoon on Tuesday. NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick says that she has asked the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries to eradicate nuisance alligators in the lagoon where Vasquez died. The Baton Rouge Police Department says that a man who was in critical condition following a shooting has died in the hospital. Officers say they were called to the scene of Marquis Ann Drive shortly after 4 a.m. yesterday. A man was found on the road lying down and shot. Police say the man was 38-year-old Braxton Scott. During the course of the investigation, detectives identified Thomas King as a suspect in the shooting. King was arrested in Zachary and booked into the EBR Parish Prison. Just ahead, a check of your evening forecast with Jeff Morrow. All right, let's take a look at a Sky 9 camera. We see some beautiful blue skies this middle of the week. Let's get to Jeff Morrow for a look at the forecast. Jeff?
And just a few hours ago, those skies were filled with clouds, and that actually helped keep us a few degrees cooler today than we have been over the last few days. Now skies beginning to clear. Temperatures actually starting to warm up. Warmest temperature we've seen so far today right now at Baton Rouge Metro Airport. So you see how the clouds have been fairly persistent for a good chunk of the afternoon. But as of the last, say, 30 minutes to an hour of the satellite composite, you can see how those skies have begun to clear over top of us here in South Louisiana. We are still seeing a few spotty showers, not much in the way of rainfall, but a couple of showers down in Terrebonne, St. Mary parishes over towards Lafayette Parish as well. Otherwise, it is dry everywhere. 90 degrees right now at Baton Rouge Metro Airport, but notice how most spots in the 80s right now. We haven't even seen temperatures climb into the 90s for many locations so far for today. So it's been kind of a, I guess, late warm up, so to speak. Late afternoon, we'll probably still see temperatures starting to sneak into the 90s for many more locations. So we're about 3 degrees cooler than the same time yesterday. We'll take whatever we can get as we make our way through these summer months. Obviously, I've got the temperature holding at 90 for another hour or two, and then we'll start to fall through the 80s and eventually into the 70s later on this evening. I'll keep a spotty mention of a shower, but if you have evening plans tonight here on this Wednesday, probably no need to grab the umbrella, especially for inland locations along the coast. May want to consider at least having that umbrella handy. So let's talk about what we're tracking next. Give you a first alert heads up. We've got a front heading our way as we get into the tail end of the week, and the big question mark remains, where will this front stall? We want it to stall as far south of us as possible to salvage a good chunk of our weekend, but we still have non-agreement between our long-range models. GFS still stalls it to the north, European model stalls it to the south. Models do agree, though, wet weather is likely in the forecast for Friday as well as Saturday. So the first part of our Labor Day holiday weekend appears to be wet. But the front stalling towards the north, like this representation, means rain weekend, more humid, maybe a little bit warmer. The European impacts with it farther to the south, drier, less humid, and a cooler weekend. So we'll hope for the European model to come to fruition, but still no wiggle room right now between the two models. Tisha.
All right, Jeff, thank you. And thank you for joining us for 9 News Now. Be sure to join us again in 25 minutes for 9 News at 4 on WAFB.
Now's the time to score huge truck savings at Team Toyota, where you can get a new 25 Tacoma for just $299 a month, or get 1.99% financing for 72 months on a new 25 Tundra. For work or play, we have you covered at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.